hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb and Friends here on Amazon Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. I am joined by my co-hosts, Chanelle Coleman Wesley. We have Tanya White and Dr. Teresa A. Smith, Dr. Taz. Hello to you guys all joining us on the Amazon side. If you guys too are new to us on Amazon, make sure you guys hit that follow button. We have programming here live 6 days a week. You'll see it either here in this corner or down below. You will also see some great things from our next guest, his podcast, The Chop Shop. You guys can see it there. Chasen, hello to you. Thank you for the follow over there on Amazon. And you will see his new album as well as the Kamala album. I'm talking about the one and only Chopmaster J. He's joining us today. Many people know him, of course, from Digital Underground, but he's given us a great album at a perfect time this year. We're going to all talk to him about his amazing journey, what it's been like for him to do what he loves. But ladies, Chopmaster J, hello to you.
Hello.
And we are glad to have you on with us, man. We are simulcasting our broadcast. So hello to this. Also, I see you guys already coming in over there on Instagram. Hello to you, Knowledge. Hello to you, Kate Thurman, joining us over there as well. Hello to you over on the YouTube side as well. And Facebook, we welcome you too. Chopmaster J, I want to begin with you. I was just saying to our ladies here that you and I first connected in 2019. I'm going to show this picture for our audience here. We sat down with yourself and your son Sotu. You have been able to impact so many generations, not only, of course, in music, but also in what it means to have longevity. In your podcast, The Chop Shop, you've talked a lot about that. But what has it been like for you to kind of reflect on your legacy?
Well, it is a journey. It's 35 years. Now, this is my 35th anniversary. The Humpty Dance is 35 years old right now. And even just yesterday was the 35th anniversary of the Loma Prieta earthquake up in the Bay Area. Wow. And it's synonymous with the Humpty Dance because we were shooting the video the following week in San Francisco. And we were wondering how we were going to get all of our Oakland friends and a lot of our other friends from the other side of the bay to come to San Francisco because the bridge had collapsed, the Bay Bridge had collapsed, and no one was really feeling like trying to go underwater on BART and any of that. So it was a challenge, but lo and behold, we had a good turnout, and we did the Humpty Dance anyway, and it was a lot of fun, and but history is abound. We're tagging in with so many milestones and stuff, so it's a good time, and it is a time to reflect and be appreciative and grateful for every day moving forward.
Yeah, we're gonna dive more into that, Chopmaster J, and talk about the Kamala album. I'm gonna go ahead though and turn it over to Chanelle. Chanelle, Chopmaster J is all yours.
Thanks so very much, Cyrus. I am so excited. I'm glad you talked about the Humpty Dance. This is one of my favorite that you guys had on. Of course, do what you like, but I wanted to know. What was the inspiration behind that particular song, Humpty Dance, and how did it come to life?
Well, it was kind of a thing where we turned in our album, the Sex Packets album, and the label pulled the oldest trick in the book. We don't hear the hit. And we're going to hold up the album until you guys go in and give us a hit. And back in those days when you had all those gatekeepers like that, you would have to get it done because if not, your record was going to get bumped until the next quarter or something like that. And, I do believe that, a combination of desperation, a combination of wanting to make something funky for everybody to dance to. At the time, Hammer was the star. With dancing, and we kind of made it out of almost a satirical kind of trying to be funny, and lo and behold, trying to be funny, everybody loved it, bought into it, and it was kind of a mixed blessing because it became such a big hit. It overshadowed the group and it overshadowed a lot of the other things. So it was one of those kind of things that was a big hit, but later a lot of resentment came from having that hit because it kind of made us a novelty thing versus this group and this, that, and the other. But I loved it. The people loved it. It's still funky. when it comes on, it still makes you move. And you know, the Humpty Dance, like I said, it was a mixed blessing, but I loved it.
Well, I'm glad you did because it's one of my favorites. I mean, I've got to watch you guys in concert. Amazing, just great performers all around. I'm just excited. My next question really has to do with some of that early run as well. You were one of the, you know, I know that Tupac was definitely a part of those early beginnings with the Digital Underground. What was it like for you having a behind the scenes look of kind of what his just his development was, and were you surprised the way he took off?
You know, I wasn't surprised because he was highly motivated. He was, you know, he was raised to be a leader of a movement and of a thing that. But when he got there, it wasn't there. You know, the Black Panther Party and all those different things, and so he was a guy who was truly raised to be this great orator, in which he was. He was a very introspective cat, so his poetry is why I believe it resonates so strongly with folks, because it is really heartfelt. I don't really believe Pac was ever the rapper as much as the poet. And you know, but he came up in an era where hip hop and rap was the thing. So he adapted and made things happen. And yes, he was a handful to have to deal with. You would have to quell him. He was like, everybody has that friend or that homie or that relative that you got to kind of look out for, that you got to kind of watch out for. You don't leave them alone to their own devices, you know. But he was truly incredible, and it was a blessing to have come across his path and have had a hand in any parts that I did have with him in his career and doing stuff. But he was like a little brother, a little cousin, an obnoxious little one that you had to constantly keep in check if you could try. But Tupac Shakur was my God. It was a bundle of energy and a force to be reckoned with.
Definitely. Well, thank you so very much for gracing me with this time. It was a pleasure. I'm going to throw it over to Tanya.
Thank you, Chanelle. Hi, Chopmaster Jay. How are you?
Hi, Miss Tanya.
Well, listen, now not many people know that you are a classically trained pianist, correct?
No, I'm a classically trained jazz drummer.
Jazz drummer.
Yeah.
My bad. I got wrong information. But I wanted to know, how did being classically trained help you enhance your success in hip hop and with Digital Underground?
Well, you know, that was the thing with Shock and I, Shock being a pianist, musician, and me being a drummer, musician. We were two musicians approaching hip hop, not neighborhood kids or just rappers, or I don't say just rap, but rappers or DJs that way. We were two musicians. So we approached the music and we approached the whole creation from a musician's thing. And the whole idea of being Digital Underground, which was really two of us, but we wanted to come off and seem like we were the Ohio Players or something. Or Earth, Wind and Fire. We wanted to be a group and a group of musicians that you didn't get to see or really know. That was the underground aspect of it. And the whole idea of just approaching it from a musicianship standpoint, I think, was kind of new and and innovative, because, like I said, most of these groups that were formulated were through either being rappers and or you know, approaching it from a club perspective and a DJ perspective. And you know, with he and I, we were able to do it from a music thing, and that's why even when you listen to some of those songs, they're song-oriented hip-hop, not beat-oriented hip-hop.
Absolutely, absolutely. You all were still are like the standout hip-hop group, and being that, and y'all never, well, the public didn't see it, never tried to fit into hip-hop's box, so to say. Y'all were your own unique brand and personality. How important is that for you as a person and an artist right now, not to conform to what the industry is pushing?
It's me being a product of my environment. Growing up in the San Francisco Bay Area in the 60s and 70s and the 70s, really, And if you check the Bay Area for its history, you'll see that it's full of innovation. With everything about us is about being innovative and doing something left of center. And that was the goal. And it's not even something that we were trying to do. It's just what we are.
Right.
And, because like I said, we couldn't copycat what other cats were doing over back east in New York back in that day. That really wasn't our thing. We didn't have that ability, but to just approach it freshly from being raised in Berkeley and coming up where everything was cutting edge and being about the next thing, I think is what happened. I've made the comment before that I don't think Digital Underground could have happened anywhere except out of the Bay Area. And that was that's what had us breaking ground and being the next thing.
Yes. Always. I love what you said. Breaking ground, being the next thing, being the trailblazers. And thank you so much for your commitment to just the art of music. The art, that's what I got from Digital Underground. It was an art of music and not just entertainment. So thank you so much for that. I am going to pass it over to Dr. Taz right now. Thank you so much.
All right, Tanya.
Thank you. Well, hello, Chopmaster J.
Hello there, Miss Dr. Taz. How are you?
Oh, I am good, and you said it just perfectly. Now, before I get really serious, I gotta show you a little something that
look at that.
And you just mentioned that you were a classically trained drummer.
Yeah.
So on this mug, guys, this is merchandise that Chopmaster J has. It has him and it has Kamala Harris behind the podium, but he is sitting at the drums. So I just had to share this before I get down to real business here.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Now, you've had an incredible journey in hip hop, from founding Digital Underground to overcoming serious health challenges. Yeah. How has your near-death experience changed your perspective on life and influenced the way you're approaching music now?
I call it, Dr. Taz, I call it the bonus round. We're living in the bonus round now. And so it's about being super grateful, super appreciative. There's so many of the people that I came up with and some of my peers and compatriots that have passed on now. And it was scary. I had triple bypass heart surgery and it really freaked me out, but it made me aware that I can no longer eat like a 13-year-old. I can no longer party like I used to party. And it made me, God yanked my chain, and thank you, God, he makes no mistakes, or she makes no mistakes. And, it's just given me a refreshed attitude towards approaching all of the art. I don't approach it with the same white knuckle thing. This has to happen. It has to happen. I don't do that. I just create the art, let it flow. I'm launching. My son is the next generation of Digital Underground Next Generation. And this Kamala album came right on time. It gave me an opportunity to create some songs and take some songs that I had that were a social political commentary and attach it to a purpose. And the purpose would be to help get my former classmate. We were classmates 50 years ago at Franklin Elementary School. And she was in the 5th grade. I was in the 6th grade. It's obvious that she was studious and was studying while I was trying to figure out who I could kiss behind the bungalow at lunchtime. The bottom line is, it's really incredible because I know, like you and maybe others, when we were all growing up, teachers used to tell you can be anything you want when you grow up. Like even the president is like, and it's like, yeah, right. That's how we want. But all it takes is one person to believe that. And I believe that it's obvious that Kamala believed it. And I'm here to help support it through song, music, and stuff, and try to give people a good diet of, because your diet is not just what you eat, right? It's what you consume, period. Whether it's music, art, different things. And so I feel like this record is something that's really good for everyone. And I kind of made it for everyone. including myself, but I really made it for everyone, and hopefully it can inspire.
Well, you've just weaved a whole story there, Chopmaster Jay. And, I want to go back first to the bonus round and recognizing that, as you said, God, he or she can jerk your chain. And I've experienced that where he or she has jerked my chain. But then trying to stay on the straight and narrow. And that is a challenge. And I applaud you for realizing that you had to make some changes, because there's still a lot of creativity in you that you're still trying to share with the world. And you kind of hinted at it when you talked about the Kamala album, because I've listened to it and I loved it.
Thank you.
And your music has been inspiring so many individuals. And as you said, teachers used to tell us that you can be anything. So here it is. We have Kamala, your classmate, running for the highest office in the country. We know that music and politics can motivate people and drive positive change. If you've already said it, but if you could say it a different way, what is the lasting message that you want people to take away? Because you've got the album and you've got the merchandise. What is that lasting message that you want individuals to take away? Not just those of us who can vote, but maybe some of those little kids who, we were those little kids when the teacher said you could be anything. What's that lasting message that you would want them to take away?
I believe that what I would say to youngsters as well as grown folk is to really find and try to align yourself with your purpose. If you can attach yourself with your purpose, because people keep talking to me and ask, well, what about the kids whose parents and they don't have this father or that? And I understand it's like, and sometimes that can be good, and sometimes you can have some bad parenting. Yes. So the best thing is to try to align yourself and find what you really love, your passion, align yourself with your purpose, and that will guide you to happiness. And that's the most important thing. And just find what you like to do and pour your heart into it. You'll never work a day at that point. You won't have a job, but you will work, and you'll be happy working because it won't feel like work. And I try to impose that upon people every day. Some people are open to it, but the youngsters are who I really feel as though they should find early on. I was blessed to find my passion early, and have been able to follow it. And that's the best information I could ever try to share. Get in contact with who you are, what you like. Don't spend time trying to copy or follow a whole bunch of other people's advice. Align yourself with your purpose, and you'll have a great life.
And, to sum it up, you've done that, and you have had a great life, and you got the bonus round so that we know there is more to come. And thank you so very much for sharing those words of wisdom. I'm going to throw it back to Cyrus now.
Thank you, Dr. Taz.
Thank you so much, Dr. Taz. And thank you all for tuning in. You're watching Cyrus Webb and Friends here on Amazon Live. You just heard from our co-hosts here. You heard from Chanelle Coleman Wesley, Tanya White, Dr. Teresa A. Smith, Dr. Taz. We're speaking to the one and only Chopmaster Jay today. He's celebrating his new project on Amazon, the Kamala album. We have it highlighted for you guys in the carousel. You guys can see it here on the side or down below. We also have his podcast here, the Chop Shop Podcast. So make sure you guys are subscribing to that. I want to piggyback off of what you were talking about with Dr. Taz, Chopmaster Jay, and that is about this album, because it is what I love is how you're able to weave, Kamala Harris's words into this music, and especially the call to action, right?
Yes.
That is in there for people to realize that power is not just with one person. That to me is one of the interesting things about this project I didn't expect, was that yes, of course, she is the one who's running for office, but her basically letting people know this is a we thing, not just a me thing. What was that like for you in kind of crafting the music to think about that message?
It's always been kind of it's where my head is. It's what I know we need as a people. That is Muhammad Ali, great, that speech. That's his thing was me, we. And it's known to be the shortest speech in the Guinness World Book of Records. And because you have to be inclusive, it's going to take us all to come together and make this thing happen. And, you know, what better than a person who's had their boots on the ground, worked at this, has done this on every level, from district attorney to state's attorney general to state senator to vice president to now looking to be commander in chief. I like that when I think of her, commander in chief. But, you know, and I love the idea of good leadership, and I'm not intimidated with women being the lead. I love it. I love, you know, I had a strong mom, a strong sister, a strong wife, a strong daughter, and, you know, and I know what it's like to follow women leadership. So I have no problem with it. I'm not intimidated with it. And anyone that's out there that's on the ledge or on the different side of the fence, you should come on over and let us be influenced and inspired by Kamala Harris and her presidency, because I think that we're going to need it. We're all going to have to come together. We're going to have to come together. So the record epitomizes that, and the songs hopefully inspire people to try to engage and lock in for a minute, because we need to have that moment in the next couple of weeks at the election, or now. Vote.
You know, and Chopmaster Jay, I thought about too, and I'm going to share my screen for our audience that's not on the Amazon side, because this playlist is so powerful. Again, you all can see it there. Chopmaster Jay presents a Kamala album, but Dave Hollister is a part of this project with you as well. The reason why I'm bringing up Dave in particular, haven't had a chance to interview him, is that you all are both individuals who know how to use the gift of music to share powerful messages. He does it a lot when it comes to talking about relationships and love. What was it like for you to work with individuals like him, with Big Brother Soul on this, to really show not only coming together, supporting each other, but also supporting the cause that you want to with this project?
Well, you know, I felt it was really appropriate, especially with Dave, as Dave has been one of the greatest vocalists we've had, singing relationship songs and things of that nature. But to put him on singing lyrics of socio-political thing, it was kind of my throwback to the Impressions with some Curtis Mayfield and those cats. But just to have a great vocalist, like, I think the only other thing that you can kind of compare it to is Marvin Gaye, all the great songs that he had, and then which led up to What's Going On. And so when that familiar voice that you have been used to listening to give you comfort and soothing and stuff like that, when it came to just pop songs, to have him sing songs of social relevance and things of purpose really resonates, I believe, with the listener even more so. And Dave is incredible. I mean, you know, a couple of other Dave songs that he sang the hook on, like Brenda's Got a Baby with Tupac and Keep Your Head Up, Tupac's anthems, those were some really powerful socio-political messages, and him singing the hook. So I felt having him on board with some of these songs were going to be extra powerful and hopefully really inspiring us, Brother Cyrus. Like, even like, there are a lot of songs in there good, but the one with Tremaine Hawkins and the Interfaith Gospel Choir, song called Spirit, Do You Really Care, brings it all home for everybody. And, you know, and yes, I love all that.
Yeah. And I'm so glad you mentioned that too. It kind of goes to what the co-hosts were talking about, the ladies were talking about too, what you've been able to tap into and realize, what I think is a great reminder for us. Hello to you, Makita. I'm sure your ears were burning. We were talking about you earlier. Makita's joining us there from Jasmine PR, responsible for setting up this chat with us for today. And that is using the voice that we have. That's the thing that when I first saw the pitch about your new project, Chopmaster, that's what I thought about. You're using the voice that you have to make an impact. Is that what you hope our audience realizes too, that they're able to do too?
Absolutely. You know, the Kamala album and then the line of merchandise that we have, A Girl Named Kamala, was basically, it's Kamala Harris right now, but this girl's name could be any young girl's name that's out there right now growing up and learning to be a young person and learning to be eventually a young woman and to be in control and in charge of their own lives and make decisions. I have an 11-year-old granddaughter, you know, and it's important for me, as a matter of fact, I sat with her and I showed her Kamala Harris at 11 years old as my classmate. I said, she's the same age as you right now. So if she could do it, you can do it if that's what you want to do. But I'm just saying, to answer your question, it is about using our voice and aligning it and attaching it with purpose and things of value to hopefully broaden people's horizons and inspire them to do all of what they can in their lives, because it's important.
Well, look, you're definitely doing that. Again, everyone, the one and only Chopmaster Jay has been our guest. We've been talking with him about his newest project, the Kamala album. You guys can get it right here on Amazon. Again, if you guys are on the Amazon platform, you see it here in the corner here or down below. Also, please subscribe to his podcast, the Chop Shop Podcast. He gets very real there. It's entertaining as well, so make sure you do that. Chopmaster Jay, I'm so glad we had a chance to chat again, man. 2019 was a little while ago, but the timing is perfect now. How can our audience stay connected with you and kind of keep up with everything you're doing?
You can stay with us, through our podcast, like you said, the Chop Shop. You can hit me at Chopmaster J on Instagram, Facebook, and we're gonna be everywhere. We're getting busy with, like I said, this is the bonus round, so we're going to utilize everything that we can now to stay present and to stay consistent and to continuously put out a good diet of content for you to consume, because like we said, it ain't just what you eat, it's what you listen to, what you watch, and everything, and we want to be something healthy for you with that.
Love that. Well, look, we're so glad to have you on. Chanelle, Tanya, Taz, great job. Glad you could be a part of this. And Chopmaster Jay, looking forward to our next chat together.
Cyrus, it's always good to talk with you, brother. And I dig you. And in regards to you continue progressing and doing your thing, staying consistent, you are an inspiration.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It means a lot. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb and Friends. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.